I can't be the only person in Dubai who walks past some hoardings and thinks, I wonder what is going on behind those. I am exceptionally lucky, though, in that this morning I am in a position to ask the governor of the area that those hoardings are in exactly what is going on. I'm a bit obsessed about what is happening with one of the lakes around Jumeirah Lakes Towers that is beginning to look a little less lake-like. Dubai Multi-Commodities Centre has since revealed that Lake D is to become a mixed-use lifestyle hub, and in the studio to talk us through it is the chairman and the CEO, Ahmed bin Sulayem. It's lovely to see you again. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me what you are doing with this lake.
First of all, we've been looking at beautifying JLT for a while, seeing what needs the community would like to see there. Also, preempting where the market would be is important as well, not just thinking of what's good at the time. We found a perfect partner in this initiative in Sweden. They're the contractor, they're a developer. You see some of their works in Dubai, but when you look at JLT, you have Banyan Tree Residence, which is a gated community, the only gated development within JLT. They're also building an office building, I think it's G14 or something like that, which I welcome. I like to see number of businesses increasing in DMCC. But back to your question, Lake D will be soon called Bay 360. From that name, you should know that there still will be water feature. I think majority of the water will still be there, more than 60% or 70%. That development, when done, will be a 22,000 square feet or 2,000 square meters Spinnis supermarket. I have to say, it's not us asking Spinnis to come. Spinnis has been looking at ways of plugging and playing in JLT. For those who are not familiar with Spinnis, you have the Spinnis race, cycling race. It's all over the place. Spinnis is a supermarket that Giant couldn't compete with. So they came there for a need that they understood. And with that, that's not aside from that, we have 17 retail options. There are cafes, 13 cafes and restaurants, including on the lakefront. It's a 700-meter promenade. There is, my colleagues note down here, medical facilities, but there's a big name possibly coming. They don't want me to jinx it online.
I mean, you could. You're the boss.
There are paddle courts, 5 rooftop paddle courts. You've seen one in front of the Diamond Exchange, 2 floating paddle courts from Paddle X, a 300-space underground car park, which is something I value a lot. I hate going to a destination with no car park. That's where I love autonomous cars or Uber, I guess. And then a redesigned pedestrian avenue linking the metro station to the far side of the lake. And then also upgraded lake edges for additional greenery, seating, and walkways. Just making things better, more convenient. JLT is known about this development where if you miss one of the buildings, you have to do a full circle. I'll say this online, I'm at fault. I made sure that it's one way just to have the traffic flowing. So, it's one or the other.
Is this development going to help with that traffic flow?
It should. People can cross paths. It will. I believe providing services, more services that have people stay in their radius a bit longer rather than do the long trips will help with the traffic in Dubai. But also, there are folks who don't like to go a full circle just to get to the metro. So walking past across would be very convenient as well.
You mentioned developing this not just for what you need now, but for what you'll need in the future. What's the bigger why? What's the reason for changing this?
I think if you look at the history, there used to be something called Lake C in JLT. That became the park. The F&B and buildings, developments on the lake or soon to be park, they were happy with it. Especially the restaurants, people getting active, needing drinks, more people to serve. Funnily, buildings that are far away, that have a bit of view of it, some of them tried to make an issue, and I think they wanted to take advantage. Yeah, you've changed it. We have a bit of the view, but it is what it is. It's one of the most important steps we've taken. I've had that comment from Gerhard Schubert, who passed away a few years ago. He's a gold expert, And he said, out of all the initiatives we work in, Gold Council, the Golden Commodities Exchange, all of that, he singled, that's the best thing you've done for the community. So, you can't make everyone happy, but if we're contributing to making them healthy, more engaging and social, we're doing something right.
I did have a question about the residents, though, because if you've bought a Lakeview flat, there's a difference between having a Lakeview and having a partial lake, partial Spinneys view.
Sure. They will still have a lake view, a lot of water features, and more life. I think more than 60% of the lake will still be there. It's going to be beautiful development with Sweden Suite, and it adds it. If you look at Dubai, there is no way in the last 20 years nothing's been redone, reworked. Some projects disappeared and got reinvented. That's not JLT. We represent around 27,000 companies. We're over 100,000 people working and living. We have academies, clinics. It's come together from, Brand, if you recall, around the global recession years, they were wondering if this will still be a ghost town. I remember one person living in JLT. She wrote an article about how there's no amenities, no services. We're living there, but there's no services. So she moved out. As she moved out, it's how things are, Murphy's Law. Services and amenities started creeping in. She wrote another piece how she regrets moving and things are more expensive to go back to JLT.
30 seconds rather left with you. Have you got any plans for any of the other lakes? How wide do your ambitions go on this?
Nothing concrete yet. If there would be any development, it would be something that adds value. It would be something new, and it should be something that won't make you miss the portion of the lake, if that is to be the case. But more likely, the lake closer to where the JLT mosque is. I think this is the second Ramadan of that mosque being fully operational now. So it depends. It would be a necessity for the community. We're not looking at it from an Excel sheet trying to monetize it or something like that. We have enough space, enough growth. I mean, we have a super tall tower coming up at some point. So we have our hands full, but we don't forget what we delivered before. I mean, I think that's what differentiates DMCC as a free zone and a developer from others. We live in it. We're not planning the next project and all that. We wouldn't undermine our project and the quality for the next best thing. We're not that type of developer.
Well, I'm going to hand you over to my colleague in just a second. Ahmed bin Sulayem's going to stay with us, the DMCC chairman and CEO.
Yeah, blessed to have Ahmed bin Sulayem, the CEO and the chairman of DMCC, the Dubai Multi-Commodities Centre, in studio. Answering questions a few moments ago on all things JLT, something that he's been personally involved in, well, since they even broke ground on the site, since the early 2000s. Something he's also driven here is, of course, all things commodities. It is in the title. Part of that, there are a number of different platforms. I want to focus, though, on the Dubai Diamond Exchange, the DDE. DMCC is the world's leading diamond trade hub at the moment, home to the Dubai Diamond Exchange, community of more than 1,300 diamond and precious stone companies. For over 2 decades now, it's played a central role in shaping global trade flows, but also advancing international policy. It is an opinion and influence maker, and it's interestingly announced recently its intention to join the Natural Diamond Council at some point this year. Let's get some thoughts on this from Ahmed, if we can, because I suppose the question there is the rationale behind this one, given the fact that you are so well established when it comes to the diamond platform and diamond reputation here. What's the benefit of joining the NDC?
If you look at the history of DMCC, we've been involved on the diamond side early on. I think I give credit to our first Chief Executive Officer, Tawfiq Abdallah, who was the CEO of Damas at the time, and at some point he was the head of the Golden Jewelry Group. They're heavily invested in jewelry, retail, and had some networks in diamonds. The way DMCC looks at initiatives is we look at where the gaps are. We do our best not to compete with the community at all. But if there's a gap and we know this type of service will find a way of bringing it. We had a diamond laboratory established before the global recession because none of the big names had any presence in Dubai, maybe taken windows. Today you have a proper IGI facility in Al Mas. You have HRD lab, which is looking to expand. They need more space. And then you have about 4,000 square meters of the Gemological Institute of America, their campus, their laboratory, and headquarters. We don't need to be in there anymore. We sold it. We sold the lab to Dilip, who then later on sold it back to Peter Mayes around the recession time. But I just gave you one example. The other thing is DMCC also operates and runs the Kimberley Process Office on behalf of the Ministry of Economy. We're trusted with that. And the UAE chaired the Kimberley process in 2016. It chaired it in 24. And last year as custodian chair. So it's natural for us to be involved. Now, with the Natural Diamond Council, we understand that this comes after a number of attempts to bring back diamonds to where it used to be. When back in the day when De Beers and Arrosa had a big share of the global production and had a different strategy for marketing diamonds. Now it's a bit more scattered. You have African producing nations exporting diamonds. Their plans, stockpiling, if they will, are different from how De Beers and Rosa manage things. So there are a number of ways of looking at it, but they do feel the category marketing is important. We signed something about 2 years ago, maybe. This is a new approach with the new leadership after David Kelly left. Amber Pepper joined in. She's listening to De Beers. She's listening to the market. She's listening to the U.S. market, which is an important one. For the listeners, the United States of America consumes more than 50, almost 60% of diamonds in the world. They represent about 60 plus of the jewelry market. 90% of those diamonds that enter the U.S. comes through New York as well. So there's a lot more. I mean, I guess New York is the Dubai of the U.S. I mean, this is where most of the diamonds are. Now, what's interesting to the NDC, De Beers and others, to have DMCC and Dubai being a part of this is that we created a market that didn't exist in Dubai.
Yeah.
There was no diamonds before I joined DMCC. There was nothing. Gold souk, a bit of jewelry, no relevance in diamonds. We were not a member of the Kimberley process. We don't have history like in De Beers or whatnot. We're not in London. It was seen as a Jewish trade, an Indian trade, etc. Well, today, for the past, 3-4 years, the United Arab Emirates is the #1 rough and polished hub in the world. And there are still auctions and tenders happening as I speak to you today. If you just visit, you will see a diamond activities happening. That excites them. They want a bit of that to be more, to spread. Japan had its own history where in the 60s there was no one that would get married with a diamond. It was just a silver or gold ring.
Yeah.
De Beers changed that. They had a different marketing for the Chinese market around the 90s. So this is a continuation. There are untapped markets. I hear Indonesia is not properly tapped within their community on diamonds. But I guess it's really to take care of their position. I think diamonds are still king of all the stones. And they did get a bit of a lick from man-made diamonds or lab-grown diamonds, a bit. I'll tell you up to where. In the U.S., and that's the challenge, where up to 6 carats of diamonds, I believe, have shifted to lab-grown.
Right.
My view on that, that's a different market segment. Someone looking for natural pearls is not the same as someone that wants to go for farm pearls. That's my view on it. But
can the two live parallel?
I think they should. But a lot of people in the natural diamond side don't see it that way. I think they can complement each other. We've had 2 lab-grown diamond symposiums more than 2 years ago where we sent them a message. You're creating beautiful paint. Your job is not to compete in selling paint. It's selling the painting, the brand, etc. This time around, we had another one mostly focused on the tech industry, diamond stacks, diamond wafers, quantum diamonds that are coming. And then we did criticize them on the jewelry part. We tried our best not to touch jewelry to keep my constituents happy, as they say. But we did criticize them for taking on the old cuts. They should focus on diamond cuts the natural diamond community cannot do or don't want to waste carats on doing. But back to the NDC, this is an ongoing process where we're coming together as diamond hubs. Belgium is not on the news. I anticipate them joining in at some point because of their historical relevance.
And you can help convince that, can you? You can help.
It's not my role. I think the Gem and Jewelry Promotion Export Council from India has also contributed. I'm not sure if the African Diamond Producers Association are part of it, but some of the ministers of mines were there. South Africa, Namibia, Minister Bagolo of Botswana, and the Angolans are there. So the key players are there.
Trading, you mentioned, you are a trading hub. So is this more a move towards collective action to sort of protect the integrity of natural diamonds?
No, integrity is fine. And compared to cobalt and coltan, Apple would love to have a KP certificate to clear up some of the nasty headlines. No, the integrity is fine. The trust is fine. Technology is on our side. If you look at color stones, if you want to buy a big, expensive one, a proper transaction will not happen unless you have 3 or 4 top certificates just to be on the good side. Science and technology hasn't advanced enough for color stones for some reason. But with diamonds, if it's an expensive stone, it's usually Gemological Institute of America. You don't go below that. And my apologies to the other labs. I didn't mean it that way. But they know that when it comes to 20, 40, or 60 carats or colored diamond, it's there. No, this is the need to do something before diamonds lose more of its position. They know they're top. It's still there, but they don't like some of the changes that have happened. So something has to happen. 15, 18 years ago, they leaned on De Beers. That's no longer the case today, and De Beers is going through its own changes.
Sure.
So it has to do with these developments more than there's a crisis or something like that.
Look, if there's a man more passionate about commodities in general, I challenge you to suggest them to me, but I can't thank you enough. I mean, we could talk for hours on this. We usually do. Unfortunately, we've got to draw a line under it here. Ahmed bin Sulayem is the CEO and the chairman of DMCC, the Dubai Multi-Commodity Centre. He's been kind enough to give us half an hour of his time this morning. We could have taken a lot more, but just confirming that they will be joining the Natural and Diamond Council, the NDC, at some point this year. Ahmed, as always, good to see you again. Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem. Thanks so much indeed for being with us. And enjoy the holy month.